Welcome back, Flare community. First and foremost, I hope that you're all well and having an incredible day as always. Yes, it is time for the weekly news update where we're going to be covering all of the significant developments that have been happening on both the Songbird and Flare network. Let's jump in as we normally do right here with the Flare System Explorers. I'm going to have a little peek at the top performing signal providers or data providers in this current epoch. Let me just quickly, you know why they're empty. Let's have a quick look. Give it a second. There we go. So topping the charts, we have 4 DADs. In second place, AF1. Third place, ACDT FTSO. In fourth place, we have AF Oracle. And in fifth place, we have African Pools. Congratulations to all those making it into the top 5 this week. We move over to NFTs here on xHaven. We have topping the charts, the best FTSO NFT contract. In second place, the recently launched Smuggler Chimps collection powered by Digital Dynamics. In third place, it is Block Bonez. Fourth place, we have Canary Reborn. And in fifth place, Songbird Apes. So looking at True Gems, as I said before, I'm potentially thinking about not including this in the weekly news update just due to the lack of liquidity. There's only 2 collections that have been trading this week. First is Focus Pass, and the second one is the True Gems Genesis collection. So here is probably the biggest news of the week, and this is from the Flare team. The Flare official account here, and previously we heard that there was going to be a wind down of the Songbird version of FAssets. So let me just read this verbatim so you know where we're at with that. FXRP on Songbird wind down update. Community-driven FAssets testing on Songbird has provided highly useful learnings about the FAssets protocol, leading to a planned extensive upgrade of the protocols, which has been termed FAssets v2. This is actually basically a version of FAssets with unlimited possibility, no caps. I'm going to talk a little bit about that once we get more information about v2. Continuing here, in order to maintain a testbed for these planned upgrades, whilst v1 FAssets are operational on the Flare network, which should be launching pretty soon, and combined with constructive feedback from FAssets agents and the various security programs participating, we will be continuing FXRP testing along with FDoge and the upcoming release of FBTC on Songbird indefinitely. So don't expect FAssets to be going away anytime soon. That's the main takeaway. Wind down dates of any of these 3 assets on Songbird will be specified at a later time with sufficient advanced notice. A bit of a contradiction there, because indefinitely for me means forever, right? So I'm not sure there would be a need to announce any dates if it's never going to cease existing. Anyways, the previous wind down and redemption notice for FXRP can be disregarded, and participants are free to continue testing the minting and redeeming process of FXRP and providing SGB to the FXRP collateral agent collateral pools. So, long story short here, FAssets is not going away on Songbird. Moving along, we have this, quite some significant news with a update from the Flare official website. This is what it looks like. I'm quite fond of the new design. It looks a little bit more engaging, simplified here. You scroll down, you can see some of the various partnerships. All of these are really big, heavy hitters, especially Google Cloud there taking center stage. And it sort of gives you a little bit of a oversight of what the Flare network is about. They talk about the FAssets protocol, the Flare data connector, and the Flare time series oracle, the holy trinity of what makes Flare so special. These are what all of the innovative dApps can build using, so utilizing these tools here. Talk about enshrined data protocols, the Ethereum virtual machine, which is used to process smart contracts, and Flare stake as well. So we're moving on here. They've got updates. Look, all of these metrics, I think it looks a lot better. And it's a bit easier to understand. Simplified, yes. But all of these links, they actually go to some nice web pages, which are a very similar format here. Flare drops, for example, you can see that we're pretty far through. I think we're about 2/3, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, still plenty more to come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 12 more to go. Yes, indeed, 2/3 of the way through the Flare drops. So don't forget to hold that WFLR and continue to compound for the next year. This is from Flare. You want to harness the Flare network's enshrined oracles and Google Cloud confidential compute to build a verifiable, secure future for artificial intelligence and decentralized finance? Well, you know where to find us. Hugo's talked extensively about this, I guess, synergy between AI, artificial intelligence, and the Flare network. Of course, AI does rely on vast amounts of data, and the FTSO and the oracles can all provide that sort of utility. Here's what Hugo says. He says, "Our ongoing collaboration with Google Cloud underscores our commitment to pioneering verifiable AI solutions. We are not just pushing boundaries, but setting new standards in the intersection of blockchain and confidential computing." Pretty powerful stuff. And yeah, this is very cutting edge. You know, AI, of course, it's a lot of quite a big buzzword these days, just generally, even outside of crypto. But I think if Flare can really pull this off with the confidential computing and verifiable data, then they're onto a winner. And you can only really do that if you have a strong oracle and data protocols behind that. And that's what Flare offers. So if you missed it, I'm sure you haven't, but recently the Bybit, there was an exploit, right? There was a hot wallet that got hacked. I think Bybit actually described it as a warm wallet. Anyway, it got hacked for $1.5 billion worth of Ethereum. Now, what happened was there was some sophisticated hackers, or a group by the name of Lazarus, if I'm not mistaken, from North Korea. And they managed to, I guess, alter the user interface. So what these signers were looking at, the visual aspect of it, they managed to manipulate that data and ended up extracting a large amount of Ethereum. And this is why security is paramount. This was relying on a multi-sig wallet, and you know, FAsset, it leverages the decentralized nature of the Flare network and relies on the vast amount of validators for security, not just a few gatekeepers with access to multi-sig wallets. And I just want to expand on this because it does make Flare quite unique in that sense. When it comes to the FTSO, the Flare time series oracle, it's supported by many validators who are all providing value to the oracle. And data to the oracle. And the oracle is responsible for aggregating all of that data and outputting a decentralized data for anyone on the network, any of the builders to enjoy. Now, something else that is important here to note is that FAssets has agents. So agents are responsible for holding the assets from the originating chain. Let's just use XRP in this example. You send XRP to the agent, and then the FAsset protocol acknowledges that and basically mints you the FAsset equivalent at a ratio of 1:1. Now, if one of these FAssets agents were to be exploited, maybe they do have a multi-sig, maybe they don't even have that, but the fact of the matter is, if one was to be exploited, this does not compromise the entirety of the collateral. And in fact, I believe it's the agents that would get penalized themselves, and the actual minters would be able to redeem with the Flare network token, FLR, or Songbird if it's on SUB, if it's on the Songbird wallet network, sorry. Flare's enshrined oracles have enabled a new generation of on-chain financial products, driving an impressive 400% year-on-year growth in TVL, or total value locked. Here are some of the big hitters in the space, in the DeFi space specifically, building on Flare. You've got Cyclo Finance, you've got Clearpool, SparkDex AI, Kinetic Markets, Rain Protocol, we've got Enosis, XDFI, and Scepter. So one of the things, or the applications that really interest me at the minute, is XDFI protocol. And that's because they leverage the FTSO, the Flare Time Series Oracle, to produce charts and information. And they use this time series data on prices for you to execute futures trades. And we do actually have some news from XDFI, if it's the next tab, if I'm not mistaken. Here we go. So fresh from XDFI, this is just yesterday. Sweeping changes are transforming finance, and XDFI protocol leads with a compliant, decentralized futures trading platform powered by the Flare network. Announcing our token distribution event, TDE, for the upcoming XDFI token. Holders can earn passive protocol fees through groundbreaking ownership design. We want to hear from you, from the community. Give us your questions, etc., etc. We're going to be hearing more about this in the release in Q2 of their, I assume it's going to be a AMA over here on X. So I'll probably end up streaming this, if I'm honest. And it's something that I'm looking forward to. I know that XDFI never planned to initially have a token, so maybe something's changed there, but I think it's exciting that we can essentially benefit as a holder of this token from the fees that the protocol generates. Just checking in the comments here. Sostenes, is Flare ISO 222 compliant? So no cryptocurrency is. It's the software that is that is ISO 222 compliant. So basically any asset can be. It's a messaging standard. It's nothing to do with any assets per se. So just to clear that up there. Coming on from Cyclo Finance here. Important update on Cyclo rewards. Starting from March, which is a couple of days' time, we're evolving our rewards distribution to accelerate growth across the ecosystem. Here's what's changing. So the big change, CY tokens with a smaller eligible supply will receive proportionally larger shares of the reward pool. This means that if you're holding tokens with a lower eligible supply, your rewards are about to get a lot more interesting. So I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty here, but basically, if you're holding assets that have a low supply, the rewards are going to be greater, and this is going to entice more people to mint these lower supply assets. Okay, so this is from my account, obviously. I have something up my sleeve for those that are accumulating dynamics. That's the native asset of the Digital Dynamics ecosystem. For anyone that fully views a Digital Dynamics powered NFT, there's going to be some really interesting things coming out in the next couple of weeks. And even so, next week from Digital Dynamics, being very busy building. And yeah, I think you're all going to absolutely love it. We have this collection here from Hot Dog. This is the Yoru collection, and it is still available to mint. Apologies for the sirens in the background. Yeah, so if you go to Digital Dynamics and wait for this to load up. This is Smuggler Chimps Mint. This is actually concluded now. Go to the home page here, collections. These are the collections so far with more to come. The Euro collection is still ongoing and you can find it here to mint the base. This is what it looks like. You select the currency and it dynamically prices. And these are the various base layers. And of course, you're going to be able to customize all of these with your traits. And you can go to the preview screen to, I guess, check them out here and test some of the traits, see what's available. Torso traits, background traits, there's eye traits, there's all sorts what you can do. This is basically a way to preview the traits and basically test any of the combinations. And yeah, I'm a really big fan of this collection. And I'm sure, like I said, there's going to be some interesting news next week. So stay tuned for that. Just leaving on a couple of tweets here, just as a general message. So every cloud has a silver lining, as the saying goes. If you are providing liquidity in the form of FLR to a stable coin, you're essentially removing 50% of the volatility of the market. So we did have this exploit that I mentioned earlier from Bybit, 1.5 billion Ethereum, and we saw a bit of a downturn in the market. Now, if you was holding FLR exclusively and it dropped 10%, then the value of your assets will have reduced by 10%. But if you was in a liquidity pool with FLR and half of a stable coin, that 10% in drop in FLR would actually equate to just a 5% drop because you're paired up with a stable coin. Now, what happens with that? Not only are you earning from the volatility in terms of the trading fees that are generated from the decentralized exchange, but you're also earning RFLR rewards. These are actually some of the highest APYs in the space, FLR to stablecoins. Now, what is the cherry on the cake? If the value of FLR decreases, as it has with the recent downturn in the market, your FLR within the liquidity pool increases and your stablecoin decreases. This is just a balancing of the pool, and this is just how they fundamentally work. That directly translates into more FLR for delegation rewards, and if it's captured within one of the snapshots, your monthly flare drop allocation. So as the price of FLR decreases, you receive more FLR represented from the liquidity pool. And since I think all of the decentralized exchanges offer rewards with the flare drops, you actually get to claim a bigger portion based on your increased FLR allocation. So that's something to note, and things go up, things go down, but I always capture the trading fees and harvest that volatility. Last thing here, especially with the recent exploit, this is a question to just ask yourself. Has the fundamental value of any digital asset that you hold decreased because of a centralized exchange exploit? Completely separate things. Has the technology regressed? Does such an exploit have any correlation with the underlying value use case of your asset? So that's just something, I guess, maybe a little bit of perspective. We see these market crashes, and usually due to something like an exploit. And if it's something that is outside of, say, the Flare ecosystem, should that cause the price of FLR to decrease? Has anything changed? Are we still building on this technology? Are we still looking forward to FAssets? For me, nothing has changed. And in fact, things have just got better because we are one day closer with every day that passes to the launch of FAssets, which I know is highly anticipated. And I'm hoping that it really does increase the total value locked on Flare in a big way. Okie dokie, that's it, guys. I would like to thank you all so much for watching. Please feel free to give the video a like. It doesn't cost you anything. And subscribe if you want to see more weekly news updates. I do them every single week for you guys. And that's pretty much it. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Do have yourself an incredible weekend. And until next time, I'm out.